Hey, hi everyone. Welcome to the session today. Today I'll be talking about transitioning to product management, what you need to do, how you can get there. I'm Prateek Batla and I'm a product manager at Adobe currently. A bit about me. Originally, I'm from Delhi, India. I did my bachelor's from IIT Roorkee, did my MBA from Raw School of Business, University of Michigan. Have been in a couple of software engineering roles at Oracle, Adobe, and then I transitioned to a small startup. I wore multiple hats as a technology lead in Targeting Mantra, which was acquired by an Indian e-commerce company. And I also have some product consulting roles experiences during after MBA in Adobe. Currently, I'm a product manager, but also at Google and Microsoft. Some of my hobbies are trekking, chess, and I love traveling. So if I'm free, I'll be doing one thing from these three probably, mostly. So without delay, I would get started. This will be the agenda for my talk today. So I want to talk about first getting the right experience, how to transition to product management. What experience do you require? How do you get that? Value proposition of MBA. Do you really need it? Technical skills required, some top skills of a product manager, and finally, what you need to do to excel. So this is the slide tells you well, like chicken and egg problem, getting started in the product management job. Almost seen a lot of people say, like, we don't have the experience which hiring managers ask, and then hiring managers are always looking for experiences, at least mostly. So how do we get there? So classic chicken and egg problem to get started. And I want to share some of my thoughts, my personal experiences, and experiences from the conversations I had with people to break that bottleneck. So firstly, like, how do you get the right experience? I think most importantly, I want to say, like, just do some projects, like some experiences, something which helps you develop skills that will excel you in the product management role. So for instance, if you're already working as in a company like which might have a product management portfolio or product management role, is there an opportunity for you to do a side project, volunteer, devote 20%, 10% of your time, like just trying to shadow a PM? Try to look out for those opportunities. Internship is a great opportunity to develop that product management skills. Even I developed my initial experiences through internship. Now, some people, it is very hard to get the internship as well, but relatively easier than getting a full-time role. So even if I would say, like, there is an opportunity to volunteer, maybe get an unpaid internship, go for it. I'm not saying to do it for a lot of time, but maybe just to get that month or two of experience, and then basically that helps you develop and develop those skills that are required to bridge that gap in your resume to learn those skills. And take leadership roles, be it in an NGO, be it in your organization, volunteering. This is what product management requires as well, like to be a leader. Like I'll talk a lot about later about the skills that product managers require, but this is also something that you should consider, how you can get the leadership role experiences. And then there are technical degrees, training, like product school does one. There are a lot of other organizations that do something similar, online courses, degrees that can help you get some experience, that you actually understand the job, understand the role well, to succeed in this. And finally, I just want to say, like, you should focus on developing those both hard and soft skills when you try to do gain these experiences. I it Because as a product manager, you should be well rounded in both. So maybe if you're already in an analytical role, let's say, and then there could be an opportunity to do some soft skills, like leadership roles that can give you that. While if you're already have an exposure to clients, customers, you are good at soft skills, maybe you need to do something analytical to get that hard skill. So basically, need to think like, what really works for you. But ultimately what you need to do is get that experience, get that at least to get started before you can actually finally go for the product management role. So this is the question I get a lot. I did my MBA, and was there a opportunity for me to transition directly from software engineering role? Well, yes, there was an opportunity. So why did I do my MBA? I think first of all, I want to clarify to everyone here that has asked me, or even this is the question in mind of almost a lot of people who are not technical. I'm going to talk more about it, but for MBA, it's not a requirement. And also, even if you do MBA, it's not a guarantee to get in a product management job. I know some of my batchmates, it was pretty hard for them to crack into the PM job. So they did it. If they wanted to, they built those experiences that we talked about from the previous slide, like how they built those experiences, they did it and they were able to get it. But it was not a guarantee for them as well. So there is a time and cost associated to MBA. So what MBA brings is in your network, your peers, your batchmates are product managers somewhere or the other. It's an opportunity to build the network and also learn from each other. That's what MBA taught me. Like a lot of things I learned from my batchmates. And then there are some companies specifically like who look for MBA. Like I know like at least a lot of roles in Amazon which requires MBA. Again, not like all roles, but definitely there are some roles which specifically requires MBA. And then just if you decide to do an MBA, like also want to say like, focus on the projects or the classes where you get hands-on experiences, you do the projects in the classes, you basically learn while doing things. And that's what I try to focus in my MBA as well, which at least I believe paid off well. We'll see later how it goes, but it was a good investment for me. And now during the COVID, hopefully even a better idea, but the point I'm trying to say is it's not a requirement for sure an MBA, and there are actually most of the product managers I know don't have an MBA. So now if you don't require an MBA, do you require technical skills? Do you need to be a software engineer or engineer before? I might be in a broader case where a lot of product managers have transitioned from a software engineering role, and I have the same background as well. But based on my experiences and also experiences while interacting with a lot of other product managers who don't have the technical skills, I want to tell you, like, you don't need to be technical. You don't need to be an engineer before transitioning to product management. I know what you actually need is you should be able to form relationship with engineers. Now, how do you get that? It's also about your intuition about engineering work. Like, for instance, how much time it might take. We are talking about scalability. What does it require? So you don't need to have engineering or technical skills, but at the same time, you need to be able to learn. Actually, like, you should be action oriented, self-sufficient. Like, if required, you can deep dive into things, you can learn. If engineers are using some technology, you can get your hands dirty and actually play with that, so that the product managers, so the engineers respect you and you're able to form the relationship. So the gist is, fine, you don't have that experience, technical skills, and maybe not required to get into that field, but maybe engineers request you more. Engineers respect you more if you understand them more, and that's when maybe there is an opportunity to learn on the job, but not required to get in. And I know, like, my peers, product managers at Adobe itself, or even peers at MBA that had no technical skills. Like, for instance, I want to talk about, I can give you an example. Like, one of my friends was an economist, and he's a product manager at Adobe with me, and he was able to relate his previous experiences with the product management job. Like, we'll talk about it more in the next few slides. But the thing is, like, just it's not required, but you should be willing to learn. Like that person is doing now in his free time, he's doing a online course to learn those technical experiences, because in his day-to-day job he uses those skills a lot. and and there have been a lot of ample examples, like what I know. For instance, people transfer from consulting, from marketing, from engineering. Again, that's the most I have heard of. And then from literally every field I have seen product management transferred from. So I think it's more about, uh, do you want to learn, and can you learn? But it's not about, do you have those technical experiences before. So I think the most important thing I wanted to talk about here is, like, what are the top skills for a product manager? You need to. So why we are discussing this is, I know you all already are asked me, like, you want to be a product manager. Some of you are looking to branch into this product management opportunities. How do you get there? So it's about building your experiences. Like, what kind of skills do you need to build to get into the product management and also excel at it? Well, before you getting into the skills, I want to say, like, you need to relate your previous experiences to the skills mentioned, like skills that the product manager will be using. Those, because hiring managers, they want to know that there is an opportunity for you to excel in the job. And specifically product manager job, it's very fast paced. You deal with multiple stakeholders, do a lot of things. You need to show that you have some experience, not in a product management job, not as a software engineer, but some of the skills, the experience and the skills. Basically, you have those skills that will help you get there. So for instance, business and strategy. Like in my role is more on the business and strategy side of a product management. So this is on a generally not the true with a lot of product manager jobs, but that is mine. So a lot of things that I learned in business school, related to strategy, related to marketing, I use these in specifically, like, in my role. So the point is, what should we be building next? What our competitors are doing? What is our company's strategy? How do we relate those to define what should we build next? So this is really important, and you should be able to see. You should be able to have those skills to excel in those kind of product management jobs. But overall, even any product manager job will involve business and strategy. So just think about how you can relate your previous experiences through this. Then the secondly, analytical skills. Well, product managers need to be data driven. I'm sure you all have heard about this term ample number of times, like product managers are data driven. But what does it mean? It means when you talk about a decision, that we should build this, this is our strategy, we should be building this, you can you have to make sure, like, people understand that you have a proof, that you have the data to show it to them, that why you should be building this. And then it's not just about understanding the data, but also what data is telling you. Because if you're too much into data, then sometimes your decisions are biased as well. So having the right amount of analytical skills to understand your priorities, metrics, is very important for a product manager. Now the third is organization skills. Like product manager literally works with I would say almost all of the business, of the domains, of the roles in existing in the company. Like again, not literally true, but believe me, like I work with marketing, sales, all the field people. They give me requirements. Then it is also about the business folks. It's about the product program management. Then with the engineers, of course, design people, UI UX. Like literally, you work with a lot of stakeholders. So it's it's about organization as well. How do you navigate in the organization? How do you get the works done? And especially you don't have authority over anyone. Like you, and this slide summarizes well. Like you are a mini CEO of a company. Like you so basically you have to drive the things without having an authority. So how do you get that done? And the time management is even though I think I have written it's a fourth one here, but I would say the number one skill for a product management required skill, because you have hundreds of things in your plate. You get tens of emails, hundreds of emails every day, Slacks, and you really need to manage time. You need to make sure you're working on the right priorities, and that's where prioritization comes in. Like, you know what is important to build for a product, for the product. How do you prioritize features? How do you prioritize your time? Who do you meet? Are there any meetings that maybe you don't have to attend, but you are just attending it? Are there opportunities where you should be present to make sure decisions are taken faster? Opportunity to show data to drive those decisions. Like, you need to have those skills. And finally, it's about interpersonal skills as well. Like, as we discussed, that you are literally working with a lot of stakeholders, a lot of roles in your organization. You need to be have those skills that that people want to interact with you, and especially without having that authority, you are able to drive those decisions. Those you're able to get things moving. And it's about connecting with people as well. It's about connecting on a professional and also on a personal level. I think these are the most important skills of a product manager. And now when you are thinking about transitioning to your product manager first product management role, career opportunity, there is an opportunity for you to relate these skills to what you have already done before. Maybe you were in a customer centric role. You have already, like, you have you have worked with a lot of customers. Now product managers work with a lot of customers as well. They need to know the customer inputs. They need to know the customer priorities. So showcase that skill in front of a hiring manager to crack into that role. Maybe you were a consultant before. You have done a lot of strategy work and also client customer work as well. Like, showcase those skills. So basically, just showcase your skills to crack that product management career, product management first role. And if you don't have any of this skill, or you need to develop those skills, then we discussed how getting that experience, how we should be getting that experience, not through the full-time role, but through a part-time role, through a volunteering opportunity. How do you develop these skills? So what I want to basically, like, the final or concluding thoughts, or basically what I want to tell you everyone is be curious. Be curious in learning, in anything that you see. Like, as a product manager, we discussed, you are a mini CEO of a company. You are a mini CEO of a product that you are working on. You need to drive everything. You need to be curious about how things work, what customer wants, how is there a better way to build things? Is there a better way to scale? If you are curious, you'll ask questions. If you ask questions, there may be, like, people who might explore that for you, or you might explore that. So try to learn as much as you can. Now, it is about your current role that you are in. Maybe in your student life you are in, you want to transition to a product manager role. Basically, anything that you do, there is an opportunity to ask questions. There is an opportunity to be curious. And then secondly, I also want you to know know that you should be learning from other product managers as well. Like, try to network, with the like-minded people. Try to network with the people who are in the role, in your dream role that you are in, and ask them questions. What they do in their day-to-day life, what do they do in their product manager role, how is their role different from what they do, how is the company different from the different companies, what are the company's priorities. Basically ask these questions, try to understand them, because right now you are looking to transition into one role, but you might not know for now as a product manager what kind of role you want to get into, or maybe what kind of role you will excel in, because product management roles are different across different industries, different verticals, like different companies, like maybe like some company says a product manager role, but it's about business and strategy. Maybe it's about end-to-end development, from business strategy to working with engineering, launching, marketing, and that's a standard product manager role. And maybe it is just about getting things done with engineering. Like, you want to understand the role that different companies have, what it took the other people to get there. Basically ask them what they did. For instance, maybe try to search for people uh, who have similar background as you. Like, maybe you don't have that experience and they neither did they, but they still transitioned. Like, what they did at that time, there is an opportunity to learn from from people, from like-minded people, from your network, or from your to be network. So just the final concluding thought would be to network with people, use LinkedIn, use opportunities at conferences, basically whatever opportunity you can get into to network, to learn. And that curiosity will land you your first PM job, that curiosity will land you your next PM job, and even what you want to go forward for. And uh, with that, I also want to say, like, I know these are hard times, extenuating circumstances during COVID. Like, we all are staying, I hope we all are staying safe, staying home. And maybe, like, there is not an opportunity to go outdoors in events, interact with people, but like, you are right now learning with me, doing this virtual live product management session. So there is an opportunity to do virtual coffee chats. Like, just ask that colleague, or ask that friend, or someone who you had long before met. Maybe just there is an opportunity for you to now talk to them and learn about their role, their product management role, and what it might take you to get there. And good luck to everyone who want to transition, who is transitioning, and who is looking for the next product management role. Thank you. And if you have questions, feel free to share. Happy to connect and answer for you guys.